Well, we've been talking about landscaping for whitetails, landscaping for wildlife. And how big is that landscape is what people always ask me. And we've done a lot of research, not to go into too much science, but you just have to take this on faith, but we put radios on deer and we followed them for 20-something years. So we know how far a deer wants to travel, how far it would rather travel, and then we can use that as our management unit. And what we've boiled this down to is, at a minimum, when it comes to deer orchards, you want one deer orchard at a minimum of 40 acres.
Okay.
Okay? So if you have a deer orchard for every 40 acres, 80 at the maximum, you're going to be doing pretty well. Now, I know everybody that's coming to this website has at least 40 acres and all land is square.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's not. But if you have 10 acres, you have 20 acres, you need one orchard. And how big should that orchard be? The orchard we're standing in here right now is about almost a half acre, okay? And it's based on a distribution of 1 per 80 acres. You can have a deer orchard that is a quarter acre. If you go smaller than that, you're going to have some light issues, especially if you're in a forest. So that's how many you need. Now the next question is, where do you need them? Well, obviously, you need them. You need to analyze your landscape and see what the deer need at each particular place. But you need to locate an orchard that is good for trees. Yep. An orchard location is good for trees. You don't want to take unfortunately, especially people who lease land for hunting, landowner won't let them do anything. If they let them plant a food plot, they give them the sorriest place on the property. So sometimes you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to spend more time making the soil better. But look for good soils. Look for soils that have a good sandy loam with some clay composition.
What about slope?
Slope is very, very important because you get erosion, you'll get water moving downhill. Sometimes on a gentle slope, if the water table is moving down a few feet under the surface, that's usually pretty good. But we like to have it pretty much a gentle slope to level land to put it. You need to get light to the ground. So you got to consider what's around your plot. Now we have some fairly tall trees. They're all 60, 70 feet tall. So what does that mean? Well, when the sun's going down, we're going to have a shadow or shade coming out here more than 60 or 70 feet. So the trees are going to be in shade part of the day. Sometimes that works to your favor. But how you orient them, if you orient them square, it doesn't really matter. But if you have them long, if you're in the north, you have to remember the sun travels like this across the south. So a south exposure is going to get your warmest temperatures. We're talking about the growing season. If it were a food plot, we would want that warm, a cool season food plot, we would want that warm. So you might want to arrange it so that it doesn't get the hottest sun.
What's your recommendation on spacing?
Spacing is we recommend 25 by 25.
Okay.
And as you've pointed out many times, that's just a general rule of thumb. It depends on what species and variety you're working with.
Right, and on the website, within each of these plant descriptions, you get a mature size canopy that you can count on. So that needs to be taken into consideration. You know, some large majestic oaks are going to take forever to grow, but when they get there, they're going to shade out these other plants. You want to limit competition, I guess is the
absolutely.
main point.
When their crowns touch, their roots are touching. They're competing with each other. And of course, some of the plants that we're offering, like American beautyberry, even blackberry, we're talking about a much smaller spacing. But if you get a tree like a chestnut or some of these pears, you're going to have a much bigger spacing, so you eliminate that competition.
And that information is also included in the planting descriptions, what that spacing should look like. Right. And we actually have a calculator as well to tell you if you want to give us a dimension for your plot, and we'll tell you how many trees you can fit in there and what dimensions.
Exactly. So we've got a lot out there on the website to help you. If you need any help, if you don't understand something, get in touch with us, email us, call us, and we'll work with you.
And we appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're enjoying these videos.